I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel, and this is the weekly angel card reading for the week the 28th of November through to the 2nd of December 2016. December, yes, I said it. How did that happen? I can't believe we're at this point of the year. And it's at this point of the year where people start to really freak out if you weren't freaking out already. And it just seems like there's so much going on at once, and it can be really difficult to find a sense of calm. And so I'm picking that the angels are probably going to be bringing through a few messages for us along that sort of theme about helping us to stay grounded amidst all this craziness. So let's see what comes up. It was really interesting last week. We had messages that were going to help people with Thanksgiving. I live in Australia. I didn't know about Thanksgiving, so when we got messages about family harmony and seeing the cornucopia on the earlier card in that week, I didn't make the connection myself, but that's fantastic that so many of you drew the dots there. So even, I'm delivering the messages, but the angels were saying something, that was going to reach you, even if the words didn't come from me myself. So I'm glad that you could use those messages to help you through those times if you were indeed struggling with family issues around Thanksgiving. But, family harmony is an issue at all times of the year often, because our family of origin are people that we don't choose. Well, I personally believe that our souls do choose them before we are born, but I know not everybody holds to that. But regardless, we're so alike and so different, and of course we're going to rub up against each other and cause some friction there. So let's see what's going to come through for this week, starting with Monday the 28th. So I'm shuffling the cards and see what the angels have in store for us today. What can they tell us that's going to help us make good choices and navigate our way through whatever comes up for us. So sometimes it takes a while for me to shuffle and get to the right card, but it takes as long as it needs to, and I've learned the hard way you can't rush this process. Oh, here we go, one jumps out. Entrepreneur. Okay, this is a great one for those of you who are considering going into self-employment or to starting a side business. Go for it. The angels and the universe are going to support you with that. It's also a good one for those of you who are struggling at the moment, who are already self-employed and feel like they're being challenged at the moment and wondering if they made the right choice. And this is confirmation that you absolutely have, so keep going with it. Now, for those of you who work for someone else and you're perfectly happy with that and you don't want to change it and you see no reason to, that's totally okay too. What this is about at its core is about empowerment. So look for ways that you can do your own thing within your duties. So if you can see a way to do things better, then the angels are encouraging you to challenge any limits that might be there, or to try and bring some independence into your work, so you're not just following a sort of template, I guess is the right word. So make sure you're bringing enough of your individual spirit into your job, and you're making sure that it reflects who you are as well, as much as you can. Looking at Tuesday the 29th. Sometimes they just tell me to stop. It's easier when that happens. Now, this particular card, you created this situation and you have the power to change it. We had this, I believe, not the week just gone, but the week before, and it's about people making sure that people feel empowered. So you can see a theme already with the previous card. The worst possible thing you can do when it comes to attracting what you want, the worst possible thing you can do is think that you are powerless, and to think that you're a victim of some sort and that the universe is against you. That's completely wrong. Often it's people who think that they're trapped and that that life is against them. They've created that situation themselves. That's not always the case. I'm pretty sure no one asks for a chronic health disease or a health situation, for example. However, no matter what comes up for you or what the causes are, you always have a choice to determine how you feel about it and how you respond to it. So no matter what's going on for you today, make sure that you don't feel trapped and you are aware that you've got choices, and it starts with thinking positively. So addressing the way that you think about a situation is a very important step when it comes to determining the outcome of that. If you blame other people, you're giving away your power, and that's really a waste of your energy. So I think I probably drew your attention to this illustration last time, but what I love about it is that the angel's painting, and that kind of implies or suggests the way that we create our own lives. We're the painters, the artists of our own circumstances. And I love also that there's a unicorn in here. Unicorns symbolise miracles because they are things that we cannot see, and that we don't necessarily know or even exist, although I know there are people who believe that they did exist. I'm not really sure where I stand on that one, but either way, they are mythical creatures that there's no kind of cause to, what am I trying to say here? We don't necessarily know whether they're here or not, but we can believe in the seemingly impossible, I guess, is where I'm going with that. So looking at Wednesday, the 30th, I know I didn't articulate that one particularly well, but you'll always take what you need from it. It's kind of how this works. So the messages are not mine, they're from the angels. I'm just the messenger, and you take from them whatever you need. So don't get locked into what I'm saying necessarily. If you're seeing the card and listening to the message and getting something different from it, you go with that. You must always trust your intuition. These are only very, very general. So looking at the 30th now, the Wednesday, last day of November, because the 31st of November does not exist, even though I got an invitation the other day for an event on the 31st of November. So it's that time of year. We're all sort of struggling to stay focused. Wow, it's a long shuffle this time, isn't it? Oh, here we go, just when I started to complain. Workshops and seminars. So there's a couple of different layers here of meaning here. So for some of you, it's about the call to go on workshops and retreats that call to you. So trust your intuition on that, as always. If there's a particular course that you've been thinking about, or maybe someone has mentioned a course and it's sort of piqued your interest, this is confirmation that you should go for that. Now, for some of you, there's a higher message here about you needing to deliver the workshops and the seminars and the courses or whatever it is. It's about seeing yourself as a teacher. So if that's something that has already been suggested to you by other people within your role, or even people outside who can see you doing quite well at that, the angels are really suggesting you go for that. And if you're not quite sure exactly what that will look like now, just sit with it and see what comes up. And as always, you can ask the universe to give you some signs and some assistance there. So, but it's really about, if that particular meaning speaks to you, about knowing that you've got the ability to impart wisdom and knowledge to other people. So, but you know, we're all students here on this planet. We're here to learn. If you don't learn, you stagnate, and there's not really much point in doing that. So, see yourself as a student, and understand that you're here to learn and look for opportunities to do that. So it may not be a formal education path necessarily. It may be some other kind of online course or something like that that comes up for you. Trust your intuition. And we're now looking at Thursday, the first day of December and the first day of Christmas. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't have much time for these shopping centres that started playing Christmas tunes in October. Too early for me. So 1st of December, first day of Christmas. What have the angels got to tell us today? Okay, child. I was actually just thinking about this one earlier, which sometimes happens when I do this reading, and it's a tricky one because it does have a lot of very different meanings. Now, for some of you, it's about you wanting to have a child, and the universe is prodding you to, if that's you, to really give some more thought to that, and to believe that you can as well. That's important too. So, but for most of us, I know that's only going to apply for some of you. For most of us, it's about having the trust of a child. If you think about children, they're not worried about how they're going to be in the world, where they're going to go, if they're going to have enough money. They just trust, and everything is provided for them. And we are children of the universe too, so we need to remember that the universe is providing for us. So let go of your fears about, do I have enough of what I need? You do. Just have trust that everything is going to work out. And for those of you, they're saying some of you are facing a very specific situation that's really challenging you at the moment, and they're saying that in that particular situation they want you to trust that it's going to work out, even though you can't see how it will work out. You can't see the solution. That doesn't matter. The universe has got control of that. Remember, again, the unicorn. Things that seem impossible are totally possible. You just need to trust the universe. So it's about trust and faith here. But for those of you who have a child-related concern, particularly babies, you need to listen to your intuition on that one, and again, have trust that that will happen for you. Friday, 2nd. And I've chosen a deck called Messages from Your Angels, and it's one that for some reason doesn't shuffle too easily. So I may just drop this deck. No. Cool. Isabella. This one comes up quite a lot actually in my daily readings, and I like it. It's about, it's a green light for going ahead with new projects and new opportunities. That matches pretty well with this entrepreneur card we had, so you can see a theme there. And it's about going forward with new plans. So, and even if you're not quite ready to move, it's sort of confirmation that you're on the right track. So, and it also reminds us that it all starts from the way we think about a situation. So being positive about something, even though it seems really difficult and you're not sure it's going to work out, just go into it with an open heart and a positive mind. Now, when I speak about positive thinking, I know I sound a little bit Pollyanna-ish, and I just want to remind you that it's not really that possible to be positive all of the time. So I'm not asking you to go around thinking, you know, with rose-tinted glasses on, as the saying goes. But what it means is that you don't get stuck in negative thoughts. Negative thoughts will come up, and it's completely normal. You are a human being. That's kind of the deal. What's important is that you lift yourself out when you can. It's okay to be negative, and it's okay to be sad. They're all part of the spectrum of human emotions, but what matters is that you don't have a cynical kind of a cynical kind of negative sort of slant on what your thinking is, the way you approach things. In other words, don't expect the worst. If you expect the worst, you're probably going to get the worst. We tend to attract what we're afraid of. So be positive. Of course, you can be aware that things might not work out, and it's really important to have that, I would say. But because then you're not quite so attached to the outcome. But be positive and believe that it can happen, and affirm to the universe that that is what you want. If you go around going, oh, it'll never happen, it'll never happen, it will never happen. Unfortunately, that's kind of the way that our energy works. We block it when we're stuck in negativity. So when you do feel yourself feeling despair and negativity, lift yourself out by changing your thoughts. And if you struggle to do that, call up a friend who's good at it. We all have people who are really great at thinking positive, and can really kind of give us the lift we need. And also, sometimes we're just having a bad day, and that's okay. Let it go and try again tomorrow, and you'll probably find it's much, much easier. So, looking back at the week, we've got a couple of themes here. Now, let's see if I can get these in the right order this time. So we start off talking about entrepreneur and being empowered in the work. They've just mentioned this torch here with, gosh, I got that the wrong way. This flame. You need to be the flame, or you need to spark the flame if you want changes in your life, particularly in the workplace. You need to go your own way and look for opportunities to start something different. Fire is obviously a pretty powerful symbol of power. So, and then we've got not feeling trapped. So again, that empowerment message about creating your own circumstances and changing the way you think about how things are. I need to get that water. This is Wednesday here. We've got education. We've got child, having the trust of a child, and remembering that you are a child of the universe and that everything is going to be okay. And here, positive thinking and to go forward with your new plans. So that's the week. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, I post each card on the day on my Instagram at One Grounded Angel, and on my Facebook page, One Grounded Angel. If you have any questions, you can find my contact details through that. I don't give out personal kind of readings over email or over social media because I just don't have the time. So if you want to book a personal reading, you can do that through those channels and set that up, and we really need time to kind of delve into it. I can't you know, I don't want to give you anything cursory. So, but feel free to send me any observations you might have, any feedback or quick questions about the cards in a larger sense. I'm more than happy to take those questions. And as always, I would like to thank you for your support and for watching and for sending good energy my way. It really helps empower me, and it helps me keep going so I can keep sending it back to you. That's how energy works. Thanks so much. Have an amazing week, and I'll look forward to doing another reading for you next week. Take care.